What's happening, guys? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel. You guys already know what it is, man. Big up to everybody. Saturday, I was gonna say Saturday, Sunday night vibes, Sunday evening vibes, if you want to say that. And another defeat at the Etihad for Eric Ten Hag. Outclassed. United for me were just absolutely. Why is my camera just? Let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. That's a lot better. United were just absolutely outclassed. Big up to everyone, first and foremost. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe. And big up to everyone that got me to 3K. We got to 3K a couple of days ago. So big up to everyone for that. Next is obviously the road to 4K and 5K, etc. But let's just talk about this game. Eric Ten Hag is doing his post-match presser right now. So I'm going to talk about some of his quotes after the game. Outclassed. United just outclassed in pretty much every single aspect and element of the game. Very underwhelming. Yeah. Shout out Rashford, great strike, phenomenal goal, absolutely amazing goal. But I really felt like he was playing with a knock at some point in the game. Like from like the 25th, 30th minute, he just looked like he injured. And there was a point where he was like signaling to the bench, like to what's it called? To the bench. Like I really think he did get injured or something. Explains why he was the first person to come off. But today it was like, you guys ever watched if you grew up in school here in the UK, year 7s versus year 11s, the older kids versus the older kids, that is just what it looked like today. It just looked like players who are capable, who are able, who are consistent, who have technical ability, follow instructions, that had a plan. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like in the first half, because a lot of people are criticizing Eric Ten Hag, and I think Eric Ten Hag does have some shortcomings today, but in terms of how he set the team up in the first half, I think it was much better. I think the way that United saw out the first half, I think it was absolutely how the manager probably set them up to play. You know, in defensive transition, they held their shape, very compact, forcing City to actually play out wide. If you guys realize, a lot of the time in the first half, they were forcing City to play out wide. I feel like in the second half, it kind of went a bit downhill. You know, the spaces in the middle, spaces between the defenders and like the centre backs, and in particular like Casemiro, they were able to utilize that. But in the first half, they weren't really able to do that. And so everybody blaming the manager for this. I guess yes, you blame the manager because yes, it's the manager who's managing. But I don't know how we could watch the performance and think, okay, it's solely the manager's fault. And I think that's actually the tone for the entire season. I think the tone for the entire season is it's not solely the manager's fault. Like, there's players that have. Let's talk about positives. Before we go into the negatives, guys, let's talk about positives. Let's talk about the positives. And I want to hear everyone's thoughts as well of the game as well. Positive. Johnny Evans. I think Johnny Evans and Raphael Varane played very well together. Very well together. Andre Onana first half, great. Amazing. He was exactly what I expected for him. He was exactly what I wanted for him in terms of that first 60-ish minutes of his performance. I do think the second goal, he could have got a stronger hand to it. I think he could have got a stronger hand to the second goal. But that's just ifs, buts, or maybes, isn't it? That's just a bunch of if, buts, or maybes. But for me, I've said this time and time again, Johnny Evans being our oldest player, yeah, but he's our most experienced, our most disciplined. And you see it in the games. You see it in the games when he plays. You see it in the games that he plays where Manchester United look very worrisome in the back line. He's very disciplined, very calm. And I think him and Varane complemented each other very well today. Haaland barely sniffed the chance until he missed that sitter. Haaland barely, like City for a lot of the game as well. I felt like they were just putting balls into the box non-stop. And Haaland couldn't find Haaland because Varane and Johnny Evans did very well to keep him out of the game or force him to be out of the game. But Phil Foden for me was just. It's like he said to Rashford, whatever you can do, I can do. And some, because he went and scored a double. That second goal he scored in particular, yeah, it was just typical City and typical Manchester United. That was a typical City goal and that was a typical Manchester United goal. And I mean that in the instance that it was Man City, pass and move football, and United cannot deal with that. When it's quick passing and movement, United cannot deal with that on the back foot. Camberwala got sucked out. I mean, throwing a young kid into a Manchester derby immediately as a sub, for me, that's weird. But never really had. The manager didn't really have any defensive options other than that. I'm not joking, bro. I'd rather have seen Amrabat at left back and seen Lindelof at centre back and see Dallo at right back. Honestly, I would have rather seen Casemiro at centre back and keep Lindelof on the left than Camboala coming on, because I just don't think that was the game to throw him in there. Amari Forson, that's not the game to just throw him in there. I get it, he's played over the last couple games, but it's, again, been small minutes. And also, when you're chasing a goal, I wouldn't say United were actually chasing a goal. I won't say United were chasing a goal, because at no point did I feel like, once we went 2-1 down, did I feel like United would eventually come back. But I just don't think it. But then again, you look at the bench and you think, well, who else can the manager bring on? Who else could the manager actually bring on? Big up to Aminal, been a member for 3 months, says, I think we're mid-table mandem, but big up Dallo, big up to Dallo, man. He's been the shining star in what has been a horrendous season. Big up to Aminal again with the super chat, says, Phil Foden is what we want Rashford/Anthony to be. Phil Foden did the business. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get emojis, you get your custom member content as well. Let's talk about Marcus Rashford firstly. We can start with Marcus Rashford in particular with his goal, because I think that was just the way that Erik ten Hag set United up today. Long balls from the keeper over the top, hit on the counter, or try get in behind and just basically force City onto their back foot. And what I think is more embarrassing in the game is that United did not have a shot after the 23rd minute. 23rd minute of the game. United were simply outclassed. We could say that. We can absolutely say that. But I've seen Bournemouth go to the Etihad and get at least double digits. We barely got into their box. Very rarely got into their box and rarely created anything. United were happy to sit back, let them have the ball, and basically force them to try break United down. That was poor. That's so bad. And I get it. People are going to say, oh, we don't have the players for it. They don't have the capacity to do that. Nah, I don't think that's an excuse. Of course, we know what City are and we know what United are. But this is the kind of games where you have to be up for it. I do think in the first half, City just couldn't do anything with the ball. And I really felt, and you lot will agree with me, I really felt when Haaland missed that chance, when Haaland missed that chance on goal, I really thought this might be the day we win. I thought, oh my God, this is the day. Phil Foden was a threat all game. He was a threat even before he scored. There's no way that anybody could have watched that performance from Phil Foden and thought that he was not threatening Lindelof or whoever was on that side. Because he was. And I said, while I was watching the game, I was saying, if City's score is coming from Phil Foden, it's coming from Phil Foden. Doku, I'm not even going to talk about his performance in it, because it's shameless if I sit here and I slam Doku when City won. But that's what people were hyping up, saying he's going to have Dallo on toast. They're going to say he had Dallo on toast. He was dead. But Phil Foden, for me, was the biggest threat. Even when Kevin De Bruyne didn't look up to it, he was the biggest threat. Bernardo Silva, running around with heaps. He had so much freedom. Bernardo Silva had so much freedom today. I saw him left, right, up top, he was everywhere. Wallahi, he was everywhere. They allowed him to run into every possible space and utilize that so comfortably. That was annoying to watch. I think, if we sit here and kind of dissect individual players from City, we could do that. But I don't want to focus on them too much, and I'd rather focus on this game. Let's see what Erik ten Hag has actually said in his, post-match. Erik ten Hag always has something to say. He did get booked as well. I think it was just before they scored their first goal. He was shouting at the touchline assistant, at the fourth official. So Ten Hag says, I think it was a good performance overall. We went 1-0 up and we had our moments after it to score the second one. That's true. That's true. And that's another thing you could take away from the game, is that Rashford could have had 2 clear-cut chances if he took the moment better. If he took the moment better, he could have had 2 clear-cut chances, but he didn't. The first chance that he had, ball over the top, running behind Kyle Walker, he headed it down into the ground. He headed it down into the ground. He should have headed it ahead of him. The second one, the ball falls to him. Scott McTominay leaves it for him. He completely just misses it. He completely just misses it. And I said this, I think after his first goal, he looked injured. I don't know what it is, but he looked like he had an injury or something. Anyway, Erik ten Hag then goes on to say, we defended very well and there were 2 defining moments when we nearly made a breakthrough and then we conceded the first goal. Then you are disappointed. We have to accept it and still there we had opportunities to at least get 1 point, but the win was also possible. He was asked about the foul on Marcus Rashford, which was the foul just before City scored the first goal. He said, I looked back and I asked Rashi if there was contact, maybe soft, but there was definitely contact. And then he said, we closed the middle very good and the box very good. We stuck to the plan and we had the moment of the reckless action of the goalkeeper of City. He's talking about when Edison came out. I don't think that was, I don't think that was, what's it called? A foul. I don't think that was, I thought Edison won it. It was the follow through that he caught him with, but I thought initially he won it. And I feel like we're clutching at straws with these chances, by the way. But, you know, the Rashford foul, the Garnacho one, I feel like we're just clutching at straws. I generally think that. Ten Hag has then gone on to say that Marcus Rashford and Johnny Evans was playing through an injury. I mean, Johnny Evans didn't look like he was playing through an injury, but Marcus Rashford definitely looked like he was playing through an injury. He definitely looked like he was playing through an injury. But it begs to ask the question as to why so many people are getting injured. That is another thing. That's another question. Big up to everyone in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button. Big up to Show says City had more shots, 27, than we had possession. That stat has just ruined my day. That stat has ruined my. That can't be a real stat. I have to look at this. I can't know. Wallahi, that can't. Let me go. Hold on. Wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. Let me go look at this stat. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find the stat. Okay. That's real. That's a real stat, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. Flip. And yet the manager wants to sit here and say to me, we could have got something. It was a good performance. That's not real. Oh my god. I had to just go double check, guys. I had to double check just to see if that was a real stat. 74% possession to City, 26% to United, 27 shots. United have 3 shots. 8 shots on target for City, 1 on target for United, which obviously was the goal. No big chances created for United, 3 big chances created for City, 2 big chances missed. Guys, do you know what is even worse? You know the possession stat is bad, yeah? The shots on target, or just shots in general, is bad. United had 228 passes. City had 728. Now, if my maths is correct, that's more than double. That's more than triple. That is more than that's basically around just over triple of how many passes United had. Of course, they had more possession, so obviously they're gonna have a lot more passes. But to that extent is ridiculous. To that extent is ridiculous. Big up to Koala, been a member for 3 months. Says, I unfortunately disagree. It's on Erik ten Hag. We set up the same way for LFC at Anfield for 90, got 1 point. Etihad, we switch it up after we concede. You know what it is that I was looking around the 70th minute. I was thinking, what is the manager doing? Is the manager going to make any changes? That's literally what I was saying to myself, right? And then I looked at the bench and I thought, well, who could the manager bring on? I thought maybe Ahmad, but I thought United are not in possession. They don't have possession. They don't need to. They're not dominated possession. None of that stuff. So he's not going to bring on Ahmad. I thought he's going to bring on Anthony because Anthony and Garnacho track back. Well, like Anthony's first touch of the game, I said, what is this guy doing? what is this guy doing? His second touch of the game, I was like, what is this guy doing? Then I just realized, you know what? This is just, and at that point, it was 2-1. At that point, it was 2-1. It wasn't even 3-1. And then Amrabat came on, which then I thought, okay. And that was just an unlucky kind of thing. I mean, I think he very much underread it. I think he did not read the situation properly, but I also thought that was a bad clipped pass from Casemiro. It was kind of like setting him up. But at that point, I feel like United always inevitably, unfortunately, concede from our own wrongdoing all the time. All the time. I mean, the first goal was a good goal from Phil Foden, left Lindelof, cut in left foot, top corner. Second goal from Phil Foden. It was just a simple pass and move between Phil Foden. It was between Phil Foden, who is it? Alvarez and KDB. That's it. That's it. It was just simple pass and move, get around into the spaces. And that's what they did. Camberwala sucked. I don't even know why Camberwala went so far out to Kevin De Bruyne on that side. If you watch the goal back, guys, Kevin De Bruyne, for me, whoever's on the right wing should be picking him up. Are we really going to blame Anthony like he had any hand in their goals? I'm not blaming Anthony for any of the goals. I'm just saying that there's no other. The manager only brought Anthony on not because he was going to be a goal scoring threat, but because defensively he would get back and support. That's it. On top of that, unfortunately, United don't have any other options on the bench. He never really had any other options on the bench. This is now 11 losses. Yeah, 11 losses in the Premier League this season. Now, just to put it into context, guys, when we beat we beat Aston Villa 3 weeks ago. We were 5 points off them after that game. 3 weeks later, we are now 11 points off Aston Villa. Please, can we stop this discourse about whether United's going to make top 4? Let's stop talking about whether United will make top 4. Let's just talk about whether United's going to win. Let's go into every game. I don't want to be hearing, oh, if we win, we're 9 points off top 4. If we win, we're 5 points off. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Let's just go into a game and say, let's win. That's it. I don't want to hear about, oh, if we do this, then la-di-da-di-da. We got a -2 goal difference. We could very much end the season, yeah, because we've got how many games left now? How many games left, sorry, do we have left? We've got 11 games left in the season, right? We could very much end the season with 15 losses, the way that United's record is this season. We could end the season with 13 losses. We could end the season with a negative goal difference and double-digit losses. Let me put this into perspective for you guys, yeah? Let me just put this into perspective for you guys. The only other team in the top 10 that has double-digit losses is Newcastle and Wolves. They've got 11 losses as well, yeah? Newcastle and Wolves have 11 losses. United have 11 losses. People are trolling Chelsea this season. We have more losses than them. Of course, what matters is the position in the table. At the end of the day, that's what matters. United are 6th, Chelsea are 11th. But they've lost 10 games this season. And people are calling for Poch's head. They've spent $1 billion and they've lost 10 games. We've spent nearly half of that and we've lost 11 games. Now, I don't think it's about the losses. I think it's just the manner of the performances. Everyone I speak to, whenever I talk to like United fans, we sit there talking about just Erik ten Hag and just Manchester United this season. I think a lot of it is about the manner of how United lose. Today, let's be real. Who went into the game expecting United to win? Please, let's be honest. I said I thought United could get a result, maybe like a 2-1 kind of nick it. I did say that. But I was just speaking of positivity vibes. I was just on the positivity vibes, guys. That's it. But I don't think everybody went into the game today, rivals, United fans, pundits, expecting United to get battered. They expected United to get battered. Can we say United got battered? I wouldn't say we got battered. I don't think it was a battering. I just thought it was an outclass perform. Like the City are a well-oiled team. They are a well-oiled. You know what? One thing that stood out to me today, and I really want to point it out as well. I really want to point it out. One thing that stood out to me, and this just shows you the difference in class of players, is that United, whenever a United player has the ball at their feet, they take so long to make a decision. They take too many touches because half of the time they don't know where their teammate is. So a midfielder won't know where their winger is. Casemiro might not know where his fullback is to play the pass to them. City is their second instinct. It is their second instinct. They know where everyone is. Bernardo Silva will pick up the ball. He will know where Doku is. He will know where KDB is. He will know where Rodri is. He doesn't even need to look up and scan too much. Because they know all the time where the ball is. That doesn't come from chance. That don't happen from chance. That is pure footballing instincts. That is ability. That is quality. Unfortunately, that's not what United have. That's very unfortunate. You see, even in the first half, where I thought United, I felt like Erik ten Hag set United up well enough in the first half. It was still very much hot potato football. They get the ball. It's very erratic. Passing is not good. Lump it up front. Someone chase it down. Rashford chase it down. Bruno chase it down. Garnacho chase it down. Back to square one. Ederson gets the ball. City have possession again. No wonder City had 74% possession. Because we were just lumping it up top. We were just lumping it up top non-stop. And unfortunately, it is the sheer gap of quality between the two teams. It's the sheer gap of quality. City on a better day could have put the ball in the back of the net a lot more times. I think Andre Onana saved United quite a few times, especially in terms of clearances, in terms of corners where he was coming out to claim it a lot. I think there was a stat that was like he had 7 claims in the first half, coming off his line to pick the ball up. Those are the small things that I can recognize and I can appreciate. I'll be honest. That's the small stuff I can recognize and I can appreciate. But when I look at the performance as a whole today, I can't really say that it was kind of like a game, like an amazing thing. But that was the game plan. You know, we all know we can't play out from the back against City. We tried that and we conceded the 3rd goal. That's true. Do you know what's funny is that City were 2-0 up, still pressing. City were 2-1 up. 8 minutes extra time to go, still pressing, still trying to get that 3rd. 11 defeats by March. Trust the process, Mina. For me, it's not about the process. I always say this. It's not about trust the process. For me, it's all about progress. If I'm seeing progress in the way that United are playing, if I'm seeing progress in the way that individuals are improving game in, game out, if I'm seeing improvements in the style of football, the way that United are playing, then you can trust that because you can see the changes over time. If we look at the beginning of the season to where we are now, I can't see any changes. I feel like Tupac. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself. No, but honestly, guys, I can't see no changes. I honestly, I can't see no changes. There was something that I saw today that actually intrigued me. Today was Erik ten Hag's 100th game in charge of Manchester United. In those 100 games, Erik ten Hag has had 93 different starting lineups. And the only team that we've seen play consecutive games was last season with a starting 11, which included Sancho in it. So that was a long time ago. And we won against Wolves, Bournemouth, and then Chelsea. That's the only time consecutive lineups. 93 different lineups in 100 games is... I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know whether to say that's bad, that's poor. I don't know. That is shocking. That is really, really shocking. That is really, really shocking. We needed Mina up front in the centre forward position to hold the ball up and win the headers with that high. Oh, at least you can make me laugh, Imran. Big up to Imran. Be sure to hit the like button, guys, if you've just come through. Join the membership club. You can join it. Pin comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get emojis, you get your custom member content as well. And if you have any questions, any thoughts, you want to send in your comments about the game, you can do that through Super Chat to have it read out, and it supports the growth of the channel as well. Listen, guys, I don't want to... It's like... I genuinely feel like it's one of them performances today where I can't sit here and just complain. And that just shows that, like, does that mean the standards are in the mud? does that mean the standards are in the mud? Because I can't sit here and complain and complain and complain. I'm all complained out for the season. I'm all complained out for the season. There is nothing more I could possibly say that I haven't said across the last 6 months of the season. We went to the Etihad, just outclassed, outmaneuvered, if you want to say that. We were outmaneuvered. Them, you know what it is? They look, City even look more mobile than us. Of course, they've been playing for a long time. Like, they looked, when it got to the 50-ish minutes, when it got to like the 50-ish minutes, I just thought everyone looked tired. I thought Kobe Mainoo looked tired. I thought Bruno looked tired. I thought Scott McTominay looked tired. I just thought everyone looked tired once it got to like the 60-ish minutes, 60th-ish minutes. I'm amazed that I had rival fans saying to me, please get a result. I had Arsenal fans saying to me, please get a result. Liverpool fans saying to me, please win. I'm like, do you not know who you're talking to? Do you not see our season? Do you not see our season? United are 20 points off, 19 points off Liverpool, who are top of the table. I just can't believe that it's negative. Like, I've seen some people say they don't care about the goal difference. I've seen some people say they don't care about the goal difference. I've seen some people saying that the goal difference doesn't reflect basically what the issues are this season. I think it does. I think the goal difference reflects the issues that we're seeing this season. We can't score goals and we can't keep the ball out of the flipping back of the net. We cannot keep the ball out of the back of the net. That is one of the biggest problems. And what is that a direct result of? I think the issues of scoring and conceding is a direct result of many attributes. Fitness is one of them. Fatigue is one of them. I don't know what they do on the I would love to just go watch like 3 consecutive training sessions at Carrington. I would love to go watch that because I need to see what these lot are doing on the training ground. I need to see what they are doing on the training ground that we are not seeing the results on the pitch. Maybe they're doing one thing on the training ground and another thing on the pitch. Goal difference is overrated stat. As long as we get the 3 points, I don't care. Well, goal difference is not an overrated stat because goal difference lost us the league how many years ago? Goal difference is very important. Goal difference is very, very. I think goal difference is very important because it literally tells you whether you have defensive issues or whether you have attacking issues. You can't score goals or you can't keep the ball out of the back of the net. I think it's an important goal difference. I think the league could be lost on goal difference this year. Like I'm looking at the title race. Arsenal, City, Liverpool. City are 1 point off Liverpool. Arsenal are 4 points off. They still obviously haven't played this weekend. Sorry, they haven't played. But I'm looking at their goal differences, and it's all relatively similar. Why? Because they are scoring goals and they're keeping the ball out of the back of the net. 39 goal difference for Liverpool, 35 for City, 39 for Arsenal. The league could actually be won on goal difference this season. It could be, depending on how tight it is come, beginning of May. Goal difference is, I think, a very important. I don't think it's like a wow, woe is me, all of that kind of stuff. I don't think it's that big, but I still think it's an important stat because it shows you, it highlights to you what the issue is in however you're playing. It's like saying, oh, I don't care about possession. Possession stat is pointless. Possession, you could say, is in some games irrelevant. Give me less possession and 3 points any day of the week. I don't care. But goal difference, come on. That's a bit. I figure that's a bit of a wild shout. Look at the goal difference of the teams in top 4 now. Look at ours. Exactly. We are the only people with, forget even single digits. We are the only people in the top 6 in minus. West Ham -4 as well. But that's West Ham. We're Manchester United. We are Manchester United. We shouldn't be looking like this. Let me see more. Let me find some more Erik ten Hag quotes if there's any more. Anything else that he says? I mean, he did say that he had to bring off Rashford and Evans. He said they fought to be a part of this game today, but after 60 to 70 minutes, we had to take them off. That was not to our advantage. I think that was evident that it was not to our advantage. I think there was a big change in the way that United ended up playing once Rashford and Evans came on. I don't think Rashford was really involved that much in terms of after this in the second half in particular. But it was very obvious that he was playing with an injury. It looked like to me that it was very obvious that he was playing with an injury. It was clear as day. And it's one of them ones where we're looking at the entire season and everyone at some point is playing with an injury. Everyone at some point is playing with an injury. Free Ahmad. I said it before and I'll say it again. It's interesting to me that Ten Hag looked at the bench today and thought Amari Forson and would be the better option to bring on instead of Ahmad. I don't know what Ahmad, I said this ages ago, I don't know what Ahmad has to do to play. Maybe if Ten Hag don't like him, but I don't know what the reason is. You haven't seen him play. It's like Zidane Iqbal last season. You didn't see him play in a competitive game. Didn't sniff a chance, got sold in the summer. I don't know what it is that Erik Ten Hag sees that we don't see. Because I don't know how Forson came on ahead of Ahmad. I don't know. At no point did I feel like United were going for the goal. I didn't feel like that at any point. I mean, it seemed like when we had a string of possession that United were just concerned about keeping hold of the ball rather than to trying to progress it and create something. I felt like I don't know if you saw, but there was quite a few times where it would be McTominay or Bruno in the middle and they'd go all the way back to Dallo, who would go to Varane, who would go back to Onana. It's like nobody wanted to progress the ball. We just wanted to be we wanted to sit on the ball and just kind of recycle it over and over again. That's it. And that was really underwhelming. So I look at that and think maybe that's why Ahmad never came on, because at no point did Erik Ten Hag feel like when it was 1-1 we were going for the goal. But then 2-1 you bring on Forson. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. I feel like I don't want to talk about the first half too much because I feel like had United replicated the first half performance in the second half, we would have seen a lot better. But one thing we know about United this season is they cannot maintain a consistency across 90 minutes. We know that. So it's kind of naive of me to expect them to play in the second half the way they did in the first half. And that's a big problem. That is a big, big problem. That's a big problem, man. Big up to Aminor with the super chat says, has Ahmad slept with Erik Ten Hag's wife, Amrabat? I'm not going to answer that first question because that's speculation. But I know you lot are waiting for me to talk about Amrabat in it. Yeah, I know you guys are waiting for me to talk about Sufyan Amrabat. Listen, firstly, when he came on, even I thought, what the hell? But I will be so honest with you, yeah? It reminds me of a similar error. Do you guys remember Kobbie Mainoo made an error? I can't remember what game it was. Was it Forest? I can't remember what game it was. We were losing anyways, and then they ended up scoring another goal from a Mainoo error. I'm not saying it was the same, but that's what it reminded me of. At 2-1, I didn't even think United would. I thought 2-1, game's done. West Ham, there you go. It was West Ham game. Thank you for reminding me. I felt like the game was done at 2-1. I felt like the game was done at 2-1. I'm not joking, because like I said, at no point did I feel like United were gonna go and get like an equalizer. I mean, the last time we had a shot flipping was in the 23rd minute. So what makes you think we're getting another shot on goal in the 80-something minute? Amrabat for me is the most underwhelming signing. Yeah. And the reason why I'm saying that is I'm not sure what I expected when Amrabat joined in terms of consistent playing time. This is a guy who's been in and out of the starting 11 inconsistently. He's not been... I don't think he's had a run of 3 consecutive games in the midfield, because at one point the manager will put him at left back. So I'm thinking the way that I feel about Sufyan Amrabat, very underwhelming performance. It's been a very underwhelming signing. But what else could I expect from a situation where it's not been consistent playing time? It's not been regular playing time. The most consistent, I think, playing time that he had was when Casemiro was out injured. I think even then, Erik Ten Hag was playing Scott McTominay alongside Kobbie Mainoo. I think it was only maybe at Anfield when he started. But pretty much not sure what to expect. You're shameless, minute. You and Fleck hyped him. I don't think it's shameless. I knew what to expect. I knew what to expect with Sufyan Amrabat. This is not what I expected. But what can I say, or what could we say, when he's played inconsistently in the team? He's had an inconsistent run of games. Today, with 2-1 down, you dash him on in a game that City are sitting comfortably with the ball. City were literally passing and moving comfortably. You know what's the worst thing, guys? You know what's the worst thing is that Amrabat's probably going to go down as one of the worst Eric Ten Hag loan signings, and we had Weghorst last year. Amrabat is going to go down as the worst loan signing under Eric Ten Hag, and we had Weghorst and Sabitzer last year. Do you know how jokes that is? at least Weghorst and Sabitzer won a trophy. At least Weghorst, I can name games that he impacted comfortably, especially like the Carabao Cup final, etc. Playing in the 10. Like, we had Weghorst playing in the 10. We had Weghorst playing in the 10. And Soufiane Amrabat, out of the three of them, is going to go down as the worst signing out of all of them. Oh man, it's just funny when I kind of think about it like that. You lot are accusing me of hyping him up. Listen, I still think Soufiane Amrabat's a good player, but it's also one of them ones where I think maybe he's not fitted for United. Maybe he's not suited for United. Then again, who is suited for United? Because I don't know. This is so rude. He said Shaq Shuka Mark Noble. Oh my god, that is rude. Oh, that is the funniest name I've probably seen. Oh my god, the Shaq Shuka Mark Noble. Listen, I couldn't even say that he fits United or he doesn't fit United, because I don't know who the hell fits United. I don't know who fits United, because I don't know how we play. I can't believe people got gassed because they saw that Lisandro Martinez and what's his name? Rasmus Højlund traveled with the team today. If Rasmus Højlund and Lisandro Martinez came out in that game today, I would have been mad. I would have been annoyed. This is not a game to rush them back for. We got Everton next Saturday, then we got Liverpool the week after. We got Everton next Saturday, guys. 12:30 kickoff. Nothing good comes from a 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. Can I just say that? The last time, I watched Everton on a 12:30 kickoff, it was against Spurs when they got the last minute equalizer, sorry. Nothing ever good comes from that. You lot don't know what shakshuka is. Shakshuka is a Arabian dish. It's like, hold on. Let me tell you exactly. I can't believe you lot don't know what shakshuka is. It's a one-pot vegetarian dish from North Africa. It's got eggs, tomato, onions, that kind of stuff. So it's big in Morocco. It's big in I think Egypt have it as well, and Algeria as well. Tunisia as well have it, but I think it's predominantly Moroccan food. It's big breakfast food if you ever go to Morocco, or if you ever go to have Moroccan cuisine or any of that stuff. Let me look at everybody's ratings. I don't agree with FootMob. I don't like to, this is just let me put this on just because I want to show you lot today's ratings for the game. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Bruno Fernandes 7.5, Johnny Evans 7.1, Andre Onana 7.2, Rashford 7.4. Everybody else 6 and below, or 7 below 7. Sorry. Victor Lindelof 5.6. 5.6. I'm going to go by the eye test today. I don't think Victor Lindelof was good in possession. I don't think he can play left back. And I think the biggest hindrance for me when Lindelof is at left back is that when he goes forward to support Rashford, he doesn't overlap. He does not overlap. He's just stationary. And we saw it 2 or 3 times today. Was he better at centre-back? Yes, he was way better at centre-back. And I would much rather see him at centre-back. I don't want to see Victor Lindelof at left-back. Phil Foden had him cooked today. Honestly. And and that's very telling. I don't want to say look at the rating, but also that's very telling in Phil Foden's performance today. 2 goals. Could have had more. He was always willing. You know what it was? Is Doku against Dallo. I wasn't worried. Wallahi, I was not worried when it was Doku versus Dallo. Not worried at all. Every time it was Foden versus Lindelof, I was scared. I was scared. And you lot cannot tell me that you lot didn't feel the same way. Because I was shooketh. I was really, really shooketh. And that's no criticisms to Lindelof, but more so for me, I would rather him at centre back. And when Ten Hag moved Dallo out to left back and Camboala at right back and Lindelof went centre back, I thought it was okay with Dallo at left back, and I thought it was okay with Lindelof in centre back. But what did Pep do? He moved Phil Foden to the left and Bernardo Silva came to the right. Why was that? Because Bernardo Silva was supported by Rodri a lot, pass and move, link up well. Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, overload the left-hand side. Camboala couldn't deal with it. Camboala came out. Kevin De Bruyne was like hugging the touchline, and Camboala got sucked out. What happened there? Alvarez gets the ball from De Bruyne, passes it to Foden. Little 1-2. Casemiro does not track the runner in Phil Foden, and Varane is now in two places. It's either he shuts off the passing lane by going to Alvarez, or he stays and potentially let Alvarez take the shot and track Phil Foden's run. Goal. That's literally how City scored. And how did that happen is simply because I feel like this was not a game to throw Camboala into it. I don't think so. Again, we could sit here and be like, he doesn't have any options on the bench. Johnny Evans was injured. Okay, cool. Just put Casemiro at centre back. Put Casemiro there. Well, I just put Casemiro there. Or put Lindelof there, put Amrabat left back. I don't care. I feel like the biggest issue that we're gonna have throughout the season, just like generally speaking, is gonna be that. It's gonna be that left-hand side. It's gonna be the absence of, Luke Shaw, Malacia, all of them guys, where we're forced to play makeshift players in positions. We're gonna be forced to do that. And it's very unfortunate. Our only player that I can say has been good all season is Diogo Dallo. Rest of you players need divine help. I think Diogo Dallo, yeah, he's been a bright spark in a bad season. That's it. And I'm sure everyone sees now how much United miss Rasmus Højlund. Like, the absence of Rasmus Højlund has been really, really felt over the last, I'd say, couple games. It's really, really been felt. Forget goals. Even his off-the-ball work. I'm blue. David is wilding. Oh my days. Nah. You guys are wild. Lindelof was playing better left back than Shaw. Nah. I'm blue. David. I know you are the Lindelof Defense League, and I know Lindelof is like your uncle or something. But come on. I said Lindelof is better at centre back. Take the praise. That's the most that Lindelof is getting from me. That's the most that's getting from me. That you're getting from me. Luke Shaw has not been that great, but Luke Shaw, when he plays well at left back. I just think it's just that United find themselves in a position. Let's talk about Erik Ten Hag. Because we spent a lot of time talking about the players and their inabilities. Do you guys feel that Erik Ten Hag is just slowly winding down the clock to inevitably leave the club at the end of the season? Because we've had our worst ever run in Champions League football in a long time. We've already lost 11 games in March. We've got a negative goal difference. Players out everywhere, injured, left, right, centre. No identity on the pitch. No consistency on the pitch. Do you think that Erik Ten Hag is just running down the clock to leave? That's it. It's very difficult for me. I saw a report recently that was saying that Ineos will not focus on where United finish in the league this year as to whether Erik Ten Hag will stay. They will focus on whether he is the man to take Man United forward. So whether they believe in the way he plays and his man management and his style of football, whether they believe that is aligned with what they want. That's it's between that he'll stay. I can't help but wonder, will Erik Ten Hag still be in the job? And is this a cause for dismissal this season? Is this a cause for dismissal this season? Because I'm really looking at it and I'm like, is just getting worse. It's just getting worse and worse. The problems are getting worse and worse, honestly, because December we crashed out in the Champions League. Now, 11 losses, only in first week of March. From that, we still got a bit to go. We still got FA Cup fixture against Liverpool in the quarter. Is that the quarterfinals? I think that's the quarterfinals. So we still got that. We still have to play Liverpool at home in the league. We still have to play Arsenal at home in the league. We still have to play Brighton. We still have to play Newcastle. We've still got some relatively difficult games still to come. We've still got relatively difficult games to come. And it doesn't seem like that injury list is getting any less. After every press conference, I just feel like there's a new player on the injury list. It's like a player comes off the injury list and there's a new player on the injury list. A player comes off the injury list, there's a new player on the injury list. I just feel like that injury list just gets longer and longer every single time. But I really think, I don't know. I feel like Erik ten Hag has not done enough in the big games this season to salvage any sort of reputation from the season. Like, at the end of the season, we might look back and be like, oh, what was 5 great moments, in terms of how United approached games? I couldn't tell you. I could tell you individual moments. Kobbie Mainoo, Rasmus Højlund. I could talk individual moments, but from a managerial standpoint and how the manager has tactically won us games, I couldn't name you 5 from this season. I could not name you 5 from this season because I feel like in most games, majority of the games that United have won this season has been just about win. I think the only team I would say we beat comfortably, in terms of score margin was West Ham at 3-0. Every other game, I think there was a stat that said United have won a majority of their game. I think it's like a percentage, but a majority of their games this year has been won by a 1-goal margin. A 1-goal margin. That is ridiculous. Let me look back at our actual Premier League fixtures quickly. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning of the season. We won 1-0 against Wolves. We lost 2-0 against Spurs. Then we won 3-2 against Forest. Lost 3-1 to Arsenal. Lost 3-1 to Brighton. 1-0 to Burnley. Palace beat us 1-0. We beat Brentford 2-1. We beat Sheffield United 2-1. We lost to City 3-0. We beat Fulham 1-0. We beat Luton 1-0. Okay, so we beat Everton 3-0. I remember that. But we lost to Newcastle 1-0. Bournemouth, we lost 3-0. So we've only beat teams by more than a 1-goal margin twice this season in the league. Twice. Yeah, well, I had twice. Oh my God. 2-1 wins or 1-0 wins, and we had 2 3-0 wins. That's it. That is all. That is poor. That is poor. And that just further proves that United have so many issues in the team right now. United have so many issues in terms of, it's not just injuries that's the problem. It's not just injuries that is United's hindrance this season. We are tactically inept. The players aren't good enough. But on top of that, the way that the players are set up, it's not to bring out the better traits in them. Because I feel like the manager is very much trying to play his way by force and fire. By force and fire, he's forcing these players press high, high energy. But the high energy can only be maintained for a certain number of games, for a certain number of minutes in a game. The high energy, United are not there yet to be playing with high energy like City and Liverpool, etc. We're not there yet. We're nowhere near that. On top of that, United, I would say that the players that we've signed this summer, who Mason Mount non-existent, Amrabat having a howler. He's not having a howler, but Amrabat has not been impressive. He's not been impressive. Rasmus Højlund started off cold in the league, picked up momentum from Christmas onwards, but he was good in the Champions League. Onana has had a very up and down season for me, in my opinion. I think Onana started low, went high again, then it went low again, then high again, and now he's, I think, at a consistent kind of trajectory. But other than that, I can't think of anything else that I could say as a positive for the season. Because I can sit here and talk about the injuries, but I can even talk about the personnel. I can talk about the players, the choice of substitutions or the choice of starting lineups. We could talk about, the poor individual performances game in, game out from individuals. We could talk about that, and we could talk about how the manager sets the team up in games. But the truth is that at no point this season I could say, if I go at the end of the season, I can't look back at the season and think the manager has done everything he possibly could with the team, because I don't think the manager's done. For me, he hasn't coached well enough if you're only winning games by one goal margins. But then again, flip it, I could be devil's advocate and be like, well, Rasmus Højlund was getting barely any service for the first 3 months. Barely any service. It took him till, when was it? Boxing Day to get his first goal in the league. So that also is an argument too. Big up to Big Game Player with the super chat. I appreciate the contribution. Says Anana should do better on the first. Candy wrist from him. The first or the second? I thought it was the second that I thought he should have done better. The first one was just a great goal. That's a screamer from Phil Foden. I think it's the second goal you might be referencing, which I do think he went. I think he went low, kind of late, which he does that sometimes. Onana does that sometimes, where he goes down quite late and gets beat. But it's one of them ones where it's sad because you look at the entire game, and for me, I was saying Onana man of the match performance, like up until the 60th minute, up until the second goal was conceded. I thought Onana played well. The pre-assist, I hate to say it, pre-assist, but he had the pre-assist for the Rashford one. For the Rashford goal. Yeah, second. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, he had the pre-assist for the Rashford goal. Great pass over the top. He played a great pass quite a few times throughout the game, which is what it looked like to me. That was the instructions. Onana, ball over the top. Bruno gonna run in behind. Rashford gonna run in behind. Garnacho gonna run in behind. McTominay is gonna come crashing with, with the second run, taking players out, etc., and creating space, which is what actually McTominay did for the first goal. He's made a run in. I don't know if you saw, but when Bruno had the ball, he made a run, like a disguised run, as if he was going in behind Bruno, which opened up a bit of space for Rashford to run into and take the shot first time. So that is, to me, what it looked like United were set up for tactically. But that goal, the second goal, for me, it was floppy wrists. But we've seen it like throughout the season. And it'll be very harsh on me. It'll be very harsh on Onana for me to sit here and say it's his fault why United lost today. I can't say it's anyone individually's fault. It was just a game where you can see by a mile that City are further ahead than United. Like acres and acres and acres. The gap between City and Man United right now, just in the ways of how they play, just in every aspect, there's a big gap. There is a big gap. But Eric Ten Hag, you came in last year, or nearly 2 years ago now. But you came in nearly 2 years ago, and you said to us, you said to everyone, City and Liverpool have dominated, but eras come to an end. 2 years later, we are sitting here saying, when are these eras going to come to an end that you said is going to come to an end? Because we've been living through this era for the last 10 years. Unfortunately, we've been forced to live through these eras for the last 10 years. And it's still happening. We're still living through it. When is it going to end? In that time that Eric Ten Hag said, eras come to an end. How many times have we beat Liverpool? And we beat them twice. We beat them twice out of what? City, we played them 3 times last season. Liverpool, we played them twice last season. Once this season it'll be twice. So altogether it'll be 6. So we'll see what his win percentage is by the end of that. We'll see what it is. Big up to Sheila, says, this time last week, I was expecting us to concede 10, no lie. So yes, we've lost, but I'm actually feeling better about this loss versus what I expected. I think a lot of people just feel like it is what it is. We knew what was going to happen. It wasn't a battering. And it's sad, but I feel like that's the position that a lot of people kind of feel like right now. That is, it is what it is, but it wasn't a battering. It wasn't a battering. And that's just how I feel. That's honestly how I feel about this. That's honestly how I feel. And it's sad because I'm not going to lie. Like I said earlier in the stream, after the first half and Haaland missed that open goal, I thought, wow, today is the day United win. This could be really the day. This could really be it. Of course it wasn't. But it's just underwhelming. Like I've been saying from October to end the season now. Wake me up when the season ends. We ain't got long to go. We only got, what, 2.5 months left? 2.5 months left of the season. And I'll be real, I love football, guys. I love football. Yeah. But I can't wait to see the back of this season. I cannot wait to see the back of this season. Like, I'm just done with it. Like, I feel defeated. There's not many times I come on stream and like I'm not showing energy or all of that stuff, but every game I'm just feeling defeated and defeated and defeated. And you know what's the worst thing is when I have family members that are rival fans. That's the worst thing. Or I have friends who are like rival fans. Quite a few of my friends support Arsenal. Got a few friends that support Liverpool. One or two relatives that support Chelsea, Spurs, all of that stuff. But I just feel defeated. And I'm sure everyone else shares the same sentiment. I'm sure everyone else feels the same sentiment. That is just I can't, like, when's our next game's next Saturday? At least the good thing, the silver lining in all of this is that United only play one game a week. Imagine we had to be. Do you guys remember last season where I felt like United were playing every 2-3? I swear, United were playing every 3 days last season, and I felt like I went to sleep, I wake up, United's playing again. I go to sleep, wake up, United's playing again, and I'm like, did we not just play yesterday? Did we not just play like this yesterday? It was, honestly, I'm just like, I'm Blue Dabba says, nah, I feel good. We're going to win FA Cup, get in top four. I don't care about thinking, oh, we're going to win the FA Cup or we're going to get top four. I'm just focused on one game at a time. And I know that's a very generic saying, but you lot know that's always been my standpoint. And especially this season, I don't get caught up in the, oh, we're 10 points off fourth, with this much points off this people. If they lose this many games and we win all our games, then we get fourth. I don't get caught up in the ifs, the buts, the maybes, the maths, the statistics, all of that kind of stuff. I don't get caught up in that. I just, one game at a time. Just see every game at a time. Right now, my next focus is Everton. I'm not even thinking about Liverpool in the FA Cup. I don't even want to think that far ahead. I do not even want to think that far ahead. Big up to Riri with the super chat. Appreciate the contribution. Says, I'm done with this season. I'm tired of all the discussions and the speculations. Completely over it at this point. I feel the same. I feel the same. And I'm sure a lot of other people do. But what can I say, man? What can we say? 3-1 Manchester Derby. Rashford, amazing goal. It'll definitely be in the goal. It'll be in the contention for goal of the month. I've definitely be in the contention for goal of the month. But it's just very unfortunate result. But it's one of them ones where you see the heaps of difference in quality between the two teams. You see that. Some weird substitutions from the manager, but then I look at the bench and think, what else could have been? Who else could have been brought on? Everyone's going to say Ahmad. Amrabat came on. I think Amrabat came on because, for me, Kobe looked exhausted. There was one point he was tracking back. He looked like he was dragging his legs through the mud trying to get back. He looked tired. It's just one of them. This just shows you the big difference between a well-oiled club. Excuse my pun, obviously oil, but a well-oiled team with able players in comparison to a team that are still going through major teething issues. United are going through major teething issues, and it's one of them ones where we just need to see the end, see the season out. United just need to see the season out. Some positives. Any positives from today? I think there was some good individual performances. Dalot played well. Johnny Evans played well before he came off. Varane, I think, he's one of the best box defenders that we have. Onana played well to a point. Obviously, I can't sit here and praise Onana too much because, conceding 3 goals, I can't say that. Like, I don't know what you expect me to say about that, but I think Onana played well, especially his distribution, his commanding in the box, you know, claiming the ball, all of that stuff. I just want to see the season out, guys. I just want to see the season out. When does the season end? When is our last game of the season? 19th May. Yes. We're not that far away, guys. Yeah. Come on. Come on. 19th May. Let me Google how long until 19th. How long until 19th May? 77 days, guys. 77 days to go until the end of the season. And we can put this entire season behind us. We can put the whole season behind us. That's it. That's it. Big up to American United. That's a good name. He says, you are the definition of beauty, Mina. Better days are ahead for United. Big up. I appreciate the contribution. And yes, better days will be ahead. Not too far off. There's still football as well. You lot reminded me about the Euros as well. There's still going to be football in the summer. Oh, for flip's sake. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe. 3 likes away from 100. 3 likes away from 100. I know you lot can get me there. I know you can get me there. If you want to see me, I'm going to be live now. Literally, I'm actually late for the stream. But I'm going to be live on Judge Mo's channel. If you don't know Judge Mo, Inter Milan fan, I will be live there. I think with other City fans and United fans. So come through there. I'm going to need you all there. Unfortunately, I can't redirect the video because it won't let me. So just go on YouTube, type in Judge Mo. And you lot come through and just troll Judge Mo in the chat. That's it. And the City fans. Big up to H says, Mina, I miss you. I miss you too. I miss you too. Be sure to hit the like button. We did it, guys. We got to 100 likes. Big up to everyone. Big up to the community. I'll be back tomorrow again with a live stream. You lot don't want to miss it. So turn on your post notifications, man. Listen, don't dwell on the result too much. That's all I have to say. You guys know what it is. It's your girl, Mina. Peace.